All right, shalom. We are the brothers of the Great Millstone, a branch here in Chicago. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto
YAHAWAH, BaHa, YAHAWASHI, BaHa, QADASH.
Double honors unto the apostles and elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers that are doing this work in truth and sincerity. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth among the heathen nations that look like the heathen nations. And to the few YAHAWAH that are listening and learning, to you we say shalom. We're just going to jump right into this thing. And as you see the name of it, it backfired. All right, the small hatters, you know, making such a big deal, trying to make people bow down to them and paid to do their job. He got paid to do his job. They put the spotlight on themselves and they can't seem to get it off. I mean, with this, you know, with this shooting, this so-called what they're calling the mass shooting, which I wouldn't be shocked that if you did enough research, you're gonna find out that there was crisis actors that was needed in the Colorado Springs area around the November 19th, 18th. You know, I'm pretty sure that someone always does.
Salaka, the small hats just got arrested smoking dead baby partner, dead.
Well, that was in May.
Yeah.
In May of this past summer. Yeah, a bunch of rabbis and some small hatters. Yeah. For sex trafficking and selling dead baby parts and organs and shit. So, but nevertheless, the spotlight is on them, so they need the spotlight off of them. And I just find it almost comical that a people who are supposed to be the people of the book never use the book to defend themselves. You know, they're trying to use legislation and laws and come together with billion-dollar corporations to get together to change laws and change this law and that law and to silence people. But the truth can't be silenced. And what you're doing is you're that book from Hebrews to Negroes, even though it's full of a lot of information that is wrong, you know, and so is the documentary itself, because this clearly isn't just a black thing. You know, the so-called Hispanics and natives of the Americas are Hebrews as well, and the Hebrew Israelites of the seed of Jacob. But you know, even though it's going off a bit, it's still bringing a light to the truth. So on one hand, I get angry when I hear the fallacies and the doctrine that's being tampered with. But on the other hand, I can see the power, because now you got niggas on the bus and the train, you know, in the barbershops and in the salon talking about the Hebrew Israelites and that we the Jews, yo. You know, but we only been on the highways and byways since 2007. You know, telling you that. And, you know, as soon as the elders went, you know, hit the YouTube, the message went out, man. That was the first awakening. You know, that was the first portion of the awakening right there. The prophets were waking up. All right, you had a group of prophets that had been pushing this word on the highways and byways for 15 plus years. All right, and then in 2007, when they went on the airwaves, the truth, you know, next thing you know, by the time the winter of 2008, the camps started popping up all over the globe, all over America, and then in a few short years later, they started popping up in other countries.
Exploded.
You know, that was about it. And the apostles weren't jumping on the airplanes and riding. They didn't ride over to Africa, to Kenya. You know, they didn't jump on the plane and go over to London. You know, go to Australia. Go to Rome. They didn't do that. They didn't even get on the plane and come to Chicago.
That's right.
Go ahead.
This is 2 Corinthians 13:8. For we can do nothing against the truth.
There it is.
But for the truth. So what you think what you're doing is to thwart us, to promote misinformation or defame us, persecute us, or whatever your agenda is, it's going to all backfire. When you, the more that, like Benji we were speaking about how IUIC was in front of the Barclays Center when Kyrie was coming back from his suspension. And, you know, some brothers was like, man, look at these motherfuckers, be opportunistic as hell, all right? But
true, but I was just co-signing, bro.
But then, but Benji was like, man, shit. They got their job to do. Go out there and follow their madness how they do. But it's bringing more light to YAHAWASHI. It's bringing more light to the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and the biblical Israelites by blood. And it's putting a shine. Some people are going to see that.
And the Lord is going to withdraw the elect out of that.
There
Because
you go.
the reason why IUIC is allowed to do that and ISUPK, while they constantly getting camera coverage, but you never see any chariots come over them while they're camped. But nevertheless, the reason why they're getting camera coverage like that is because, you know, they're hirelings.
Right.
All right? They have ulterior, and they teach Jesus.
That's it.
And see, you'll never see them put a camera. You'll never see a camera crew from television come and interview the men of the Great Millstone.
They pass us by all the
You
time.
know, they drive right by us. They look at us. Sometimes they wave, or they just look the other way like they don't even see us.
Mhm.
All right? We've waved at them and tried to get them to stop plenty of times. You know? Hell, we were on Adams. We were just steps away from ABC.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, and NBC and Fox is not that far away either. So you know they don't really want no smoke. But let me read this
So
real
like,
quick.
if we may, I just thought about it. Me, y'all, we used to do the train ministry years ago, like 10 years ago. I was not me, y'all, Benji, and Elder Nathaniah. And we did the train ministry, and we were go and post up, and then we'll get up and move around downtown.
Mhm.
So we're I don't even know if we was going to Chapaya that day or because he was working at the Marshall Field. And we happened to walk past the channel, was it 7 or 9? No, channel 9, right there by State and Lake. And they had the big Ron Majors had the big open window you can see. We walking past, and we have our garments on because we were kind of OR. We had our signs and everything. Because back then we wore them to the movie theaters, you know. So we were kind of OR. But we stopped right in front of them. They were doing that newscast that was right between the break. So we had the signs, and we held up America will be destroyed with a missile sign, SR sign, with the Hebrew Israelites. And he just like, yes, mocked us, and scoffed us, and like basically, yeah, whatever. You know, shit. These motherfuckers know who we are, man.
Of course.
I got 2 precepts for y'all.
Kind go ahead, brother.
This is well, first is Philippians 1 and 15. Some indeed preach, some indeed preach Mashiach, even of envy and strife, and some also of goodwill. The one preached Mashiach of contention, not sincerely supposed to add a figure to my bonds. So some men is just to be contrary to the truth in the brothers, you know. They speak on being Israelite, but they're contrary. And that's their job, you know, that's what it is. But the other of love, knowing that I am set for the defense of the gospel. What then, notwithstanding every way, whether in pretense or in truth, Mashiach is preached, and I therein do rejoice, yeah, and will rejoice. So, of course, you know, those guys, preach like the Malcolm said, they preaching Jesus, they preaching doctrines of the world, to be honest. Their whole doctrine is basically Christianity jazzed up with Hebrew Israel.
With a Hebrew, they got a Christianity cake with Hebrew Israelite frosting on it.
Right, basically.
You know,
Yeah.
when you cut it, it's all Christian.
Yeah, but it still makes them have to speak about the Israelites, and therein is a good thing in itself.
Kind of.
All right, because now the people have to acknowledge that there's men of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American ethnicity that's claiming that true heritage has been Israelites, and that conversation must be had, and it's being had.
It's being had big time.
Yeah.
It's on the lips of everyone. And like I said, I think the shooting was a distraction, and I won't be shocked that there's going to be more events that happen. Matter of fact, and I'm shocked that they haven't talked more about, you know, the Joe Biden and the Biden family investigation.
No, because he came out there and they tried to sweep it under the
They've
rug.
been real quiet about that.
Yeah, Trump shit is all in the forefront. They real quiet in the Biden.
But real quick, you got another one, right?
Oh yeah, man.
All right, let me read this one real quick. This is 1 Corinthians 4 and 5. It says, and it reads, therefore judge nothing before the time until Yahawah come, who both will bring to the light the hidden things of darkness and will make manifest the counsels of the hearts, and then shall every man have to praise God. So this hidden counsel about that all this money that was spent on miseducating us, on the defamation of our character, miseducating us and hiding our identity for us, it's all come to the light. All right, because now you can see that millions was spent to prevent this truth from going out. When you think about the money that it took to revise books, to revise dictionaries, encyclopedias, to rewrite the meaning of words and definitions, you know, to print all these Bibles and print, like for example, what's that Deuteronomy? Is that what's the 27? Is that what's the scripture when they always try to use to get around thou shalt not abhor Edomite?
23.
All right, so 23 and 7. All right, so no, that wasn't a mistype. That was done on purpose, I believe.
Clerical.
Me speaking as a man on that particular thing, I think that was done purposely.
Oh, yeah.
All right, it's just too obvious because the one thing, because that just ruined the whole Edom doctrine. You got all these scriptures condemning Edom, and then you got this one scripture that they run to in the Old Testament to say, well, no, see, you can't. So the removing of the apocrypha, like the changing the meaning of the word ruddy to try to make ruddy mean red.
Right.
All right, all these things that they did over the years, you know, to try and hide and control the truth.
Calling Adam, what's it? Adam
Adama and Adawam.
and Adam
And-
mixing those up.
You mixing the two up because they have two different words with two different meanings that look similar when you look at it.
And now even with the search engines
Yeah.
that even with the search engines that we have on the internet as it is, you know, there's been things that we could use and just type a couple words, then we jump right to what it is that we want. And now if you can't specifically call it out, it won't give you that.
Yeah.
Or apps themselves that have been totally changed. You take if you could get to the old app and read one way, and now the newer version of that app reads entirely
Oh
different.
yeah, I mean they even revised the Zondervan's definition of ham after us. All right, you know, all these different books that we use for information, they're taking the price up on.
Yup.
Yeah.
You know.
No,
Go ahead.
no, another thing they trying to change the meaning of melanated. Talking about, oh yeah, we got a little melanin. They trying to say little melanin mean they melanated.
What?
Yeah, they offsprings on one of their live shows 2 nights ago. I said melanated people. Oh no, we got a little bit. I said heavy melanated then. So they trying to change that. What melanated mean? Yeah.
Trying to work their way in there, find a loophole and back it
Black
up.
too.
No, you
We're niggers.
Did
Did you see that?
Yeah, look at me under a black light when I put on sunscreen. I look black too.
She got a dashiki. Somebody with a dashiki on and shit. Let's see that.
In the right angle.
But go ahead. Say you got something else.
If anybody's in the
This Isaiah 19 and 17, and the land of Judah, I'm gonna start at 16. And that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and they shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it. And the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts, which he hath determined against it. So this Israelite, I don't want to say it like that, but I feel like a better way of saying it. This Israelite thing and that is trendy, man. All right, and that comes with fear for Esau. There's a lot of Edomites in that convo having to face the fact that, yeah, y'all are continuing a lie that's been told and forced upon us, man. Y'all are part of that. You got to deal with that shame, man.
That shit was spewed.
Yeah. Yeah, and he says to make mention of you should come with that fear. Just to mention Israelites, man. It's nothing to say we should be burning some stone. It's the same thing in Rome. Israel got too much fame. They had to banish the Jews from Rome, man.
And they might do that again.
Only thing, well, you gonna send us this time? You can't.
Concentration camps.
Good luck.
Oh man, it's about to be. This is the downfall of Esau society. We're getting a chance to witness it, man. And you all have to eat all that shit. You know when the person you catch the motherfucker empty-handed, red-handed. Well, you are red. You are being called red-handed, red-faced. You old bloody man. All right. You still have some more of that?
Well, that was it.
Well, this is.
But that, you decided to the point. That goes back to that backfire. They shined their light on it. Now everybody's talking about the Israelites.
That's it.
You know.
There's a term called thou protested too much. And I actually heard that from the apostles, man. Thou protested too much, man. You know, you made too much hoopla about it, and now you looking guilty, man.
This is Habakkuk 2:16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned into thee, with shameful spewing shall be upon thy glory.
Con, this is Luke 8:17. For nothing secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be made known and come abroad. So now it's come abroad. The argument, what's that? Isaiah 34:8. The controversy of Zion is now on the table, man, and it ain't no turning back. This is an issue that is not gonna go away, man, until the sea have come.
That's right.
All right.
And this is a extenuation of Exodus 17:16. And he said before, because Yahawah have sworn that Yahawah will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. This is the warfare and tactics of the Heavenly Father. He let you think that you did this and did that, set yourself up, and everything you've done is left a track record with nothing but holes and debauchery and failure. Right? And now every one of your allies, like the book of Obadiah says, it's going to turn on you because they can see all the shit that you said is coming against you now. Everything that you've done is coming against you now. You're being revealed to be the devil. Right?
I got
I got a scripture for you.
I do too. Isaiah 29, verse 15. It says, woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord. And their works are in the dark. And they say, who seeth them?
I mean, the subliminal shit in the movie.
Big ass spotlight all on.
Right.
Hands all in the cookie jar.
I mean,
The elephant, like
try to hide behind the curtain.
A tree and shit.
That made the eyes shall you not see. That made the ears shall you not hear.
The archetype shit. That's ancient camera footage of you stealing.
Con.
Right.
But they say call them in 4K.
Polaroid.
Okay.
Hey guys.
I swear it wasn't me.
So it goes on to say, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us, and who knoweth us? Verse 16, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay.
That's what's happening right now. All right, these lies and falsehood that you put up is being esteemed as the potter's clay, and it's being shattered, man.
That's it. It says, surely your turning of things upside down, all right, shall be esteemed. That's why in that song it says the foundations of the earth are out of course. All right, they have lied. So here it is now. The men of the Lord, through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, is rising back up. And matter of fact, like it says in this verse 18, and then I'm going to jump right back up. It says, in that day shall the deaf hear the word of the book, and the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity and out of darkness. And so here it is, and that's all through the spirit and power. YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. So the men of the Lord are standing up at feet, and all the lies that you have told, all the deceit, which is darkness, all right, we're seeing through it all right, all through the spirit and power. YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. All right, because it's that time of your downfall and the rise of the special chosen children, the Israelites coming back into power. So now that we're speaking this truth, just like it says in that Amos 5 and 10, they hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. See, we're speaking uprightly, and that's why again it says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. You turned everything upside down. You know all
the foundations of the course out of course.
Yeah,
everything is backward ass.
Yes, because this righteous, I mean, well, the world's supposed to be righteous, you know, but you have turned everything opposite. So it's wicked. It's righteousness supposed to produce a paradise. See, but wickedness produces what we have here in this world, a living hell. You know, so it says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made he not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he have no understanding. Right? So you can't counsel the Lord.
You don't know what you're doing.
Exactly.
Say how you make me.
Hey, well,
Say how you make me.
right, right. Everything is just you doing everything the opposite of the Most High God. Everything is fake, artificial. You know what I'm saying? Artificial intelligence. You know what I'm saying? And so here it is. The Lord ain't gonna stand for that. You know what I'm saying? He giving you amount of time so you to do that, and so we can see the consequences of you going against the righteousness of the Most High God. Now what we see, it's pure hell out here, man. You know? See, but the Lord is a righteous power, so he's not going to have you in rulership forever. So now, all right, we're seeing all through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI, the truth. You're being exposed, and we're teaching it, man, and you don't like it.
It's a lot.
But you can't do nothing about it.
If they supposed to be the real Israelites, don't Daniel 7:18 said the saints should possess the kingdom forever? They losing the kingdom.
Yeah, come, brother. And it also says that when when Israel goes back to the land of Israel, they will dwell in safety, peace, and safety alone. These people are not at peace, and they're not safe, and they're not alone. So that makes me. This is Revelation 19 and 20, and no, that's not what I want. Where's the one that says the Spirit of the Lord is the Spirit of prophecy? 19 and 10. All right, it says and I fell to his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren, and have the testimony of YAHAWASHI. Worship God, for the testimony of YAHAWASHI is the spirit of prophecy, something that they is the prophecy is like putting a cross up to Dracula for them.
That's it.
It's like the sun. They burn when prophecy come out. And like I said, I find it strange that the people of the book have yet to use the book to defend themselves.
Oh man, never.
All right, and now and then I saw a couple videos. I saw one where this rabbi, he's trying to talk about the black awakening of the Jews, and yes, it's true. I might even play some of the video. But then he's also trying to make them all in Africa.
Right.
You know,
Trying to throw that Ethiopian
and and so
Because that would keep the majority of Jake over here still docile if they was listening.
kind of. And so one of the main prophecies is, I've already mentioned it. Let me grab that Isaiah 34 and 8. Somebody get it. No, man, I got it. Here we go. I was ready. And it reads, for it is the day of Yahweh's vengeance and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion. So look at all the damage that Yahweh did around the world, man. All right, all these rivers drying up. You got whole ships sitting on the Mississippi that are not moving, that are full of merchandise, and they can't move because the river is so shallow. They're just stuck there. All right. I saw a video today where all the train ports and all the train depots were all shut down across the whole country, and the trucks that deliver goods and services all are just sitting. All right, so that's going to have a major effect in the weeks to come, and then we're all very aware. Well, the enlightened ones are aware of the fuel shortage. Well, you got about 2 weeks or less of diesel fuel, and then after the diesel fuel is used, they say the reserves that they have, there's only 6 hours of reserves. So that's going to be used up immediately.
I got scripture.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Psalms 9, verse 15. The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made. In the net which they hid is their own foot taken. They done spun this so much, thinking that they had control over it. Now it's wrapped around their own ankle now. They can't even pull themselves out of it.
Yeah.
They're digging the ditch.
They're trying to do damage control. Then you got some rabbis coming out saying, well, it's not the Jews that are attacking the black people, it's the Zionists. So they're separate. So Amalek is at war with the rest. Right.
It was Amalek versus Amalek.
Right. So it was Amalek versus Esau. Now it's Amalek versus Amalek.
Right.
They truly are a house divided, man.
Not understanding the very next verse. It says, Yahweh is known by the judgment which he executed. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hand. Since the Lord made them spin and set themselves up, and now they trap, and now they want to pull out and say no, and like you said, they're trying to control the narrative, but it all done backfired now.
Yeah,
All
what
them
the tangle
getting
where
caught.
we weave when first we
Practice
practice
to deceive. Yep.
You know, you done got caught in your own web, man.
Mhm.
Now you gonna get eaten by a bigger spider, man.
Numbers
Dumbass.
32:23. But if you will not do so, behold, ye have sinned against Yahweh, and be sure your sin will find you out. I don't care who you are, all right, what creed you are. If you do wickedness, your wickedness will come upon your own pate. He that diggeth the ditch will fall therein. That wickedness will fall down on their own pate, their own pate, on their own hands.
Yeah, it says he that touches pitch
Will be defiled therewith.
will be defiled.
So you're defiled.
What's that scripture where it said, the fall probably will be put to death, people will be put to death, but they'll be so angry at them because they've been lied to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
I
about?
know what you're talking about. I
Yeah,
can't think of
if
the
you're a
word.
mechanic, you gonna get some oil on you, shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, you playing shit, man. You gonna be a stanky motherfucker, man. And now motherfuckers is smelling you, man.
Yeah, they stink.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
You can step in
Hey.
shit on your pants, shit on your arm.
And the thing they hate now, that they had to answer those questions, they avoided all these years and stuff.
yeah. And it's the saying in scripture said, he stinketh before me, or he stinketh before. When you stink before somebody in the scriptures, that means you held in bad, held in
Bad regard.
taste.
Time.
Yeah, bad
Well,
regard.
I was watching a video that a brother put up earlier, and now I reposted it. It was a really good video. I can't remember the brother's name. One of the younger Aki brother been on fire. You know, he been putting up videos for quite a few years now. I think he's out in Rochester. I think he's one of the brothers out in Rochester. But he was talking about this going back and forth with this Amalekite, this small hatter, and the small hatter just, you know, it's like they're going to disregard all the evidence and see they're not going to be able to do that anymore. And the small hatter said, the burden of evidence. Someone look up that quote. The burden of evidence is upon you, and that's an actual term. Where they're just in a position, they just want to say, well, we are because we say we are. But when the Bible itself, the most important document, all right, and the history, not to mention so many of your own scholars that all say that you people are not the people of the Lord. But how long do you think it's going to fly now that everyone's doing this research and buying this lame Hebrews to Negroes thing? Because it does go off. You want to get the truth, just watch Great Millstone, all right? But how long do you think you're going to be able to continue to just dance around all this history, all these relics, and all these legitimate non-anti-Semitic questions that are just questions that are being asked, and these talking points, these non-anti-Semitic talking points that are being talked about?
You can't anti-semi your way out of it.
Yeah, you can't write. Basically the anti-Semitic card is getting ready to be non and void. All right, because you get to the point where we have to have a council on this. You just can't hide behind this shield that you created that just makes you right no matter what you do, and not answer for atrocities and answer questions and legitimate questions.
Got a scripture for you. This is Job 11:3. Should thy lies make men hold their peace? And when thou mockest, shall no man make thee ashamed?
Oh, what's the scripture? Offender for a word. Somebody grab that. You speak about chattel slavery. You speak about Deuteronomy 28. And the 28th chapter and the curses, and then you talk of, and then you go specifically into those curses. As a matter of fact, somebody grab Deuteronomy 28, 44, 45, and 46 Bible chapter, or 44 and 45. And you talk about the prophecies of the curses and how the curses would be upon the Israelites as a sign, so you know who they are, and none of those curses are upon you. when you prove by what you did to Kanye or what you did to Kyrie, you proved them to be right on all points.
Right.
All right? And then they said that if anyone says that, then that's anti-Semitic. If someone says, oh, well, you just proved this right, they actually heard one say that if you say that, then you're being anti.
Right.
I was like, you have got to be kidding me.
Exactly. Like that's what you said.
So I don't care that you have the evidence, you know, the videotape or the evidence of me stabbing you, shooting you, stealing what's your property. To hell with your evidence. All right? I am innocent because I say I'm innocent. No, that's not gonna. But we got all this evidence against you, sir. Is this not your face? Right? Is this not your fingerprint?
Objection.
Is this not your? Exactly.
That is you, right? That is you, right?
Right. It's not their DNA and blood found all over your hand and that knife. No, come on, man.
They acting like a bunch of
Forensics came back. They said your fingerprints are on the weapon. The forensics came back. Yes, this indeed was the weapon that was used. But you know, forget all that.
That's it. Your DNA is 99.9%.
I'm being the anti.
They acting like a bunch of Ted Bundys. He said he ain't do it. All right, till his death, he just said, I ain't do it. After he killed all these people in the crib, chopped their bodies up, ate them. I ain't do it. And still stuck to that word until he died. I got that offended for a word.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
This is Isaiah 29 and 21. They make a man an offender for a word and lay a snare for him that will prove in the gate and turn aside the just from a thing of naught.
Break it down, brother.
So yeah, man, these people just trying to make our words like we just saying some bull crap and make it offend them, trying to make it seem like, hey, what we said, it don't matter. When we
Or it's just offensive.
Yeah, it's offensive to them. It don't matter what y'all saying. Look, man, they saying they the Jews and that's it.
Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. They mock us.
Yep.
Stop telling on me.
Yep. They want to try to trap us up and try to lie to keep this scenario going on, which is bullcrap, and the Lord is about to take you down for that, because that's why you're being exposed for all your sins.
Hey,
you know?
If I may say real quick, like the scripture says, woe to them that put darkness for light and light for darkness. So here it is, when we come with some actual light that's righteousness, right, in the eyes of the Most High God, and we speak that, here it is, since they didn't made it, you know, a bad thing, they didn't made it darkness, they didn't, you know, made it evil, right? So here it is, they be like, okay, you know, you said this, that, and the other thing, which again, they made evil. So now they'll be like, okay, well, we discredit them because they said this, that, and the other thing, when it's nothing, you know, even wrong with it. Even like the thing we bring about what the scriptures say about rape and how to handle if this thing happens, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, some of the different scenarios that may have happened back then, you know, and then how to handle that, you know? But then they'll make us the offender for saying what the scriptures say of how to handle it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
This is Psalms 58:4. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth the ear. So yeah, they just not gonna hear the truth. I ain't gonna hear it. You know what I'm saying? But that's just fine. It ain't gonna stop prophecy. Right. Today you don't got it. You can lie down there. The elephant's still in the room. Right. The elephant's still in the room.
Trying to hide behind the pole.
Hey, look, now the elephant shit. Try ignoring that. Elephant shit. Hey, look, you've been ignoring the elephant the whole time. The elephant like looking like, oh shit.
I had to shit eventually.
And now you at the dinner table and the elephant done shit on everything.
Stank.
Yeah. Hey, that's what it is. You can't hide no more. You can't run no more. You can't act like you ain't here. You gotta explain what a Semite is now.
You know, see, it's the same thing that Lord is doing to God and with God, Russia, putting hooks in their jaws. Lord has put hooks in the jaws of all the fallacies of Esau, Edom, and the 2/3, starting these false groups and this fucking Donald Dalton looking ass
with his fast food doctrine, man.
Right.
Even the unrighteous beginnings of ADL. The ADL was created in the beginning to hide the crime of a Jewish man.
Right.
And so then they made, and that's their roots.
Yeah.
All right, and so they were trying to hide this man's crime, and then made it, and then built up this whole system of things, and other groups as well. The ADL is the one that just sticks to my head.
You blame it on the nigga too.
Was it AHCH? Is that one of them? But nevertheless, I know the ADL was one of their organizations, and then he blamed it on and it was two little white children, girls he killed.
It was a white girl. He murdered a white girl, put her body in the basement, and the night watchman was a black dude, Jake. He basically tried to blame it on him.
Blame it on him. Well, here's the state. This is the ADL's Jonathan Greenblatt has emerged from the shadows to defend Jewish people against claims of Jews censor the internet, calling for social media companies to ban people making this claim. Wait, so really listen. The ADL's Jonathan Greenblatt has emerged from the shadows to defend the Jewish people's claims that Jews censor the internet and calling for social media companies to ban the people for making this claim. And then you go to the social media companies and we just start reading off. I have here just 8. All right, so Fox is Rupert Murdoch. NBC is Brian Roberts.
Yes.
All right, everyone on this list is.
You wish it was us.
Exactly. ABC, Robert Eager. Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg.
You wish to.
CNN,
You wish.
Jeff Zucker.
You wish.
CBS, Murray Rothstein. NYC, Arthur Silsby.
I wish.
And HBO, Richard People.
Wait a minute.
All of these people are Amalekites or converts or whatever they are, but that's what they are. Now here, I'm just going to read off a few things. We talk about evidences and receipts and things that these are from their own scholars, from their. As a matter of fact, does someone look up the 1925 Jewish Encyclopedia and see how many scholars were involved in it, if that's possible? All right, because I know it just wasn't one. Right. 1925 Jewish Encyclopedia, and just to see how many. I imagine it was a whole slew of scholars. So now they just completely disregard even what their own people have said in the past.
So like in the movie Hebrews and Negroes, they own people the one that was saying no quotes that everything they made up came from them. So I mean, come on, man.
Kind of. Oh, so here are two. And it reads, I am in Khazarian Edomite Jew. This book, I can't, it's too small for me to see. The Jewish People Encyclopedia. Wow. All right. Edom is Modern Jewry, the 1925 Jewish Encyclopedia, edition 5, page 41. All right. The 1980 Jewish Almanac. Strictly speaking, it is incorrect to call an ancient Israelite a Jew, or to call a contemporary Jew an Israelite or Hebrew. 1980s Jewish Almanac, page 3. He didn't give me page numbers. So, and this is coming from their own sources, their own people, their own scholars, their own educational system. So that doesn't match up with where Harry Rosenberg, Rabbi Harry Rosenberg was having a sit down or debate with Ronald McDalton. All right, but and Ronald McDalton with his broken doctrine was still cutting him up. All right, and Harry said that the Israelites, they haven't missed a Shabbat since the destruction of the temple. Well, then Jeremiah 17:4 said the Israelites were discontinued from their heritage.
So they want to know how to do
All right,
keep
so
that
real quick before I finish these receipts, could somebody read that Deuteronomy 28, about the curses and how they will be upon them? And one of those curses is losing the heritage. The Israelites will have to wake up and remember themselves.
Can I start with 44?
Go ahead, absolutely.
Deuteronomy 28:44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
Ooh, so I bank with J.P. Morgan. All right. Okay. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just not even talk about that.
U.S. Bank over here.
But U.S. But you know what? the people behind that are small headed as well.
Exactly.
Same thing with J.P. Morgan. All right. So I don't know any Jewish people that are borrowing money from so-called black people. I don't know. And when we were in a position when we had banks like that, you destroyed them all.
That's
here and
right.
there. When you destroyed
Black
Black
Wall
Wall
Street.
Street, when you destroyed the Black Belt in Chicago, you know, when you destroyed all those towns down in the Carolinas, when you destroyed Elaine, Arkansas,
Yeah.
Tulsa, you know,
Yeah. What was that? Yeah. Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Rosewood out, and many others, the drowned towns.
Yeah. Tom
you know?
Hanks. Tom Hanks. I did a sit down on that, but Tom Hanks was like, "Well, I don't know about this," and he went through the whole Black Wall Street and all this other kind of stuff. Well, I don't know about it.
Yeah, and all those towns that are underwater that you have luxury homes built on the little lakes with your dock that goes right from your backyard to the lake, and under that lake is a whole town with Negroes once again.
That's it. Trees in there.
All right, you know.
He should be the head, thou should be the tail. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahawah thy God. How come these curses not pursuing them? They eating white steak in Israel, which is pork. They got a
Kosher pig.
Kosher pig. They got a pink parade going on. All right,
They own the jury districts.
right. They not on top. They not on top, man. They on the bottom, man. You can't be the victim and the villain at the same time.
Can't be and these people are the victim villains, man. But go ahead, finish.
All right,
it
it says right here, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahawah thy power to keep his commandments and his statutes be commanded thee, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder upon thy seed forever.
So these curses will be upon you forever, so that the whole world would know who the Israelites are. They would know exactly who they are because of the curses that were described. So they will be the borrowers. They will be on the bottom in every society that they're in. They will be made mockery of by all the people in every society that they're in. Look, that's not going on with the Jewish people. You try to say that with your anti-this and anti-that, but no, Jewish people, they do control Hollywood. They do control the music industry. They do control the banks. They do have gated communities. They even have their own ambulance services. You got ambulance services just for them.
Yep.
All right. They don't even pick up anyone else. They only operate for them.
Yep.
So don't tell me that you can't because the Israelites, according to the prophecies, will have no protection, man. It says, Jacob, thy worm. A worm that comes up out of the ground in the morning, man. Any bird can come down and swoop them up and eat them. You know, a toad can come hopping by and decide he's gonna have them. All right, we would have no protection, man.
You would be fearful.
We wouldn't have the ADL and all these things to protect us.
I got one real quick. It's emergent. This is
Bring out that scripture, brother.
Isaiah 3:1. For behold, Yahawah, power of hosts, doth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water, the mighty man, the man of war. So we wouldn't have no fucking standing army, man. Okay, we wouldn't have no government, man. The judge, which is part of the judge, the government, and the prophet, and the prudent, and the ancient, the captain of 50, and the honorable man, and the counselor, and the cunning artificer, and the eloquent orator. And I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them. And so who's ruling over us right now? Heathens, okay? Children that have no direction, insignificant people. All right? And brute beasts. And what's it saying? That we wouldn't have a government, okay? We wouldn't have a standing army.
None of that.
None of that.
Right? And you even got some of our women that mock us for that reason. All right? That's why a lot of them are bed witches for Esau. All right?
I got two for you.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Deuteronomy 31 and 16. And Yahawah said unto Moses, Behold, thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, and this people will rise up and go a whoring after the gods of the strangers of the land.
Like Cesare Borgia, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. That was an image that was painted by Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo during the time of the Renaissance. All right, and that image is still used. Is the most recognizable image in the world, and then people call it Jesus Christ. Well, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, that image of that white guy was a real person from the 15th century.
And it's described in the Bible, and it does not meet none of their picture does not meet the descriptions in the scripture.
Whether they go to be among them or forsake me and break my covenant, which I have made with them. Then my anger shall be kindled against them in that day. I will forsake them, and I will hide my face from them. They shall be devoured, and many evils and troubles shall befall them. So that they will say in that day, are not these evils come upon us? Because our power is not among us. So when you said that you had your Sabbaths unstopped.
Right.
For generations.
Since the destruction of the temple, they have not meant. That's what Rabbi Harry Rosenberg said.
Well, that's going off. The Lord said He's gonna have His face from us for a moment.
So that means that they're lying.
That's right.
All right. That means that you've had your Sabbath, and you may be those converted Jewish people that was forced to follow the Bible and then created their own religion called Judaism by John Hyrcanus. All right. You could be them all day long. You could be an Ish all day long. Yeah. But that doesn't make you the Judites. That doesn't make you the Israelites of the Bible.
Because all only thing that says you are is your mouth, but all your actions, all your deeds, and everything else.
The relative history. The relative scriptures say you're not.
Witness against thee. You put a yarmulke over your head to cover yourself. The Lord says not to pray or prophesy with your head covered.
Your crown's supposed to be
open.
That's right. He said in Proverbs. Let's go to say it tonight. Let's go to Deuteronomy. He says, go out. The wisdom cries without in the streets. Where's Rabbi Finkelstein and Camp and Company? Where's the company of prophets? That was in Samuel.
No, they comfortable and cozy in them fancy synagogues. Just like them fake pastors and preachers are comfortable and cozy in their churches, man.
It's a lot. They do two things. They don't exalt or say the Most High's name. They say HaSham, which means the name. That's not the Heavenly Father's name.
Like I said, when you're dying and in pain, you're gonna be screaming out, "Oh, great the name!"
Oh, great name of you somewhere.
And on last show, I asked them on last show 2 nights ago. I said, "How you trace your Israelite lineage?" Oh, through the mother. I said, "Where's that in scripture?"
Well, you ain't gonna find that in the scripture.
They don't never use scripture anyway. Use what you say something to.
Yeah, that's enough. And I will surely have my face in that day for all the evils which they shall have wrought, and they have turned to other gods. The Lord made it clear that He was going to cast us off, and part of the curse said we should serve other gods, wood and stone. All right, so if that can happen to you, you're not the Israelites. Period. You know, this is Hosea. So like this Hosea 3 and 4. Yeah. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image, and without an ephod.
That proves that they're not them.
Yeah.
So you've been saying that you're the people all along. That means that you're those converts that the Bible talks about, because the Bible identifies that another people would try to take Jacob's place. All right. So that would mean you would have to be them, because Jacob. If you can scroll back down, I think the brother Yahawah the Maccabee had put, Kazak, Bunny Yahawah had put up Baruch a little earlier. But the Israelites were going to have to wake up to themselves, man. And did anybody find, by chance, if they find that book? You found it?
Yeah, I got a description from the 1925, the Jewish Encyclopedia. It says, complete in 12 volumes. These books are in a blue library.
12 volumes. So man, there's got to be a lot of Israeli scholars and Jewish scholars. Okay, all right.
It mentions it. It says the Jewish Encyclopedia contains a descriptive record of the history, religion, literature, and customs of the Jewish people from the earliest times to the present day, prepared by more than 400 scholars and specialists.
So, you hear that, brother?
Put that in group meeting.
400. Put that in orders room, brother. That's got to go into my receipts.
The evidence file.
All right, brother, that was great research. Now I'm gonna got one more for you. The Encyclopedia Judaica 1971. Look how many scholars was on that one. This is the Encyclopedia Judaica, 1971. Edomites Jews began to call themselves Hebrews and Israelites in 1860. So prior to that, what that's telling you is that prior to that they knew that they were converts. So they weren't saying, but then all of a sudden in 1860 they started saying that they were the actual people, which makes about sense, if, because soon what happened after that? Not long after that, you came to Balfour Declaration, World War I, and then World War II, and then there you go. And when you look how Esau moves in increments of time, and he does things every 10, 15, 20 years, that you can clearly see that, man. But that's over 400 scholars, so over 12 volumes, man. All right?
You still snoring?
Yeah, this is back in Hosea.
Ooh, that's a cut.
Hosea 3 and 4. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image, and without an ephod, and without a teraphim. So we wouldn't have a priest. Alright?
Afterward, levies.
Afterwards shall the children of Israel return and seek Yahawah their power and David their king. And when will this return happen? When we seek Yahawah, when we return to the Lord and look for David in the land of our captivity. That's in Deuteronomy the 30th chapter, starting at the first verse, and also in the book of Baruch, the second chapter. Alright, that we was going to search, we was going to remember ourselves to search for the Lord then, man. So not only the Lord, it says, and David their king. So where's King David?
That's what I was going to say.
Where's y'all king at, man? You don't have a king. You follow the same principles of America, which is the same principles of Rome, which is the fourth beast that was different, diverse, and Daniel. And what is diverse? You vote. You vote for your rulers, man.
And the funny thing is that they vote for their rulers, and the whole voting process is a fraud.
Right.
So these people are just corrupt from the ruler to the tutor, as the elder always says. But let me get another prophecy that they ignore. All right, this is as he said, these things will be on us as for as a sign and a wonder, so everyone would know. But I think it's Isaiah 22 or 42 and 22. Is it they're locked in prison houses?
22.
Yeah, I think it's 40. Yeah, right. And it says, but this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes. All right. They are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey and none delivereth, for a spoil and none saith restore. And almost every week, every month, there's a new story about another Israelite that's been locked up for 10, 20, 30 years. Unjustly, and he gets let out of prison. All right? The jails are full of Israelite men, mainly Judah and the northern kingdom.
How many Amalekites are in
All right?
I don't think
Guess what? They're the ones that are running the whole. They're the stockholders in the prison
that's
system.
right.
And they're the lawyers and all that sort of thing, right? And the judges. All right? So they're not the ones they're not fitting this curse. The Israelites will be, like you said, ain't no whole bunch of Silvermans and Silversteins and Steins and Kleins that's locked up behind bars. But guess what?
Even federal.
But you know what? They got plenty of stocks in
What
it.
the Jewish gangs.
So exactly.
Right.
I mean, it's really,
Yeah, they out there banging with their yarmulke to the side.
you know what I'm saying? It's so preposterous because one of our favorites is that he said, beat your weapons into plowshares and pruning hooks. Why are we not an agricultural society? Why are we, why can't we see a light from Zion right now that's shining? Because the light, we won't need the sun, we won't need, because you're bright, the light of YAHAWASHI is going to be so great. And again, where's he at? I should be able to go, all nations should flow to it. Why all nations are not flowing to Israel to go get the knowledge and wisdom and understanding of the great you wish he was us's? Right? Because that's not true. So now everything that you're doing, the more you put us in the narrative and then on the media, the more you shame the Kyries, the so forth, the more you try to shine light upon us in a negative way, you're only showing that you are the devil. And the more all the things that you've done with the C to the 1 to the 9 to the V to the axis, all right, to the C to the hip, all of this, it's going. You're putting yourself in a position where even all your counterparts are going to hate you. That's why
Oh,
all these
especially all the
religions-
people that are getting the HIV now.
Yes.
I got a whole thing that
Damn.
I'm going on the TikTok. I got my other channel. I need you to help me hook it up, and I'm gonna start doing lessons on that one, and start going so I can do longer lessons on TikTok. I'm gonna start doing lessons on that other channel, or maybe I just call it Malcolm or 2 or something like that. But and going to sit down with a bunch of Jewish doctors, breaking it down that these people, there was a certain group of humanity over the last couple of years that all have something that in common that they all took, and this same group of humanity, all of a sudden all having the HIV. All right, their immune systems are so all I'm thinking too is that you're gonna have a lot of angry members that's gonna lash out. I can kind of perceive they're going to be some instances with mass shootings dealing with medical stuff. Yeah, because people are going when the truth finally comes out about certain events and things, but we gotta be careful not to say anything. These people are gonna get mad, and a lot of them are gonna lash out.
You remember the riots from just a year and a half, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
That even a 10th or 20% of what's about to go down. That was child's fucking.
Yeah, that's probably about 5% of what's gonna go down.
Yeah,
if that.
And if you were driving around, which I was doing in that time, it was crazy looting everywhere. So imagine.
And then that loot was set up by the BLM and all the other all those other Jewish backed because we keep telling you that BLM is really a Jewish organization with the black label name on it. All right, that's
Soros
literally it's Soros Incorporated, exactly. So which is kind of it's really as when you think about it, if you're a general going to war, that's a perfect I'm gonna name this army a whole nother name, so any backlash, anything that goes wrong with that,
don't fall on us.
Yeah,
that's what set up presidents anyway.
So there it is, man.
He set up presidents. The kings set up presidents. So there, according to Daniel, he said that the kings may take no damage. They always put a face to be the fall guy, the scapegoat for themselves. But now the Most High is getting rid of the scapegoat, and that's why everything is backfiring on you, man. All right.
That's it.
Your queendom is falling down. Why you in my head, bro?
I got Deuteronomy 28:48. Therefore thou shalt serve thy enemies, which Yahawah shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things.
So why, if they're the issues, why are they not serving everybody else?
Right.
Why the matter of fact, show me anywhere in the last 500 years where a majority of Amalekites, so-called small hats, all right, are underneath another nation where they were and want and needed all things.
Man, the majority of the wealthiest neighborhoods in the Chicagoland area is where they are, and the suburbs surrounding them. And then in a lot of the gated communities that are all in the River West, the River North, and Lincoln Park, and the Gold Coast, the majority of the people that live in the gated communities, are small hats. They make up the majority of the people with gated communities, man. When you just can't even drive off into there, there's a armed security at the gate to greet you, and you have to declare who you're going to see, and it has to be clear.
And they have to confirm.
It has to be confirmed. You can't even ride your bike or drive right up into that, man. Yeah. So when you go up and down Kinsey, just west of the area I'm talking about. So they live in a gated. They are protected people, man. Right? And collectively they have money. Who do you think? By the way, did you find information on that?
Yeah, I found something.
Yes. And who do you think the majority of the students that go to Latin school? As a matter of fact, somebody jump on there and look and find out how much the tuition is in Latin. All right. I've been dealing with Latin since I was in high school. I had a girlfriend who went to Latin. All right. And then majority of my clients over the years, children, went to Latin. So let's see how much it costs to go to Latin, man.
Alright. In all things, and he should put a yoke of iron upon thy neck and have destroyed these.
Right.
They don't fit the scripture, the precepts, the pictures.
Kind of. When you look up yokes of iron, you're never gonna see the Steinbergs in them. Go ahead, call it off, brother.
Tuition costs of attendance, tuition and fees,
Damn.
$41,370.
So, and most people that go to Latin go there.
This is high school.
So no, they started first grade. I mean, they got the kids school, and then once you get to 8th grade, you go to the high school. So most of them start there in kindergarten. So and then especially you got brothers and sisters, so you got 2, 3 kid families. Who the fuck can pay for 3, 4 kids, 2, 3 kids from first grade to how much again?
Well, it's total cost of attendance, tuition and fees, $41,370. Financial need, $24,308. Total aid offer, $24,000. And that's if you apply, if you are approved for financial aid, you can get half of it covered. Outside of that, it's $41,370.
So, like I said, in years past, the majority of my clients' children went because I worked in that area. Most of those people in that area were my clients.
The police protect them. They
and-
had the police
Yeah.
blockades when you come in. They don't, sometimes you have little your yellow shirts with the little vests and they'll be like holding people. No, the po-po be over there making sure.
Oh yeah,
That's rich folk kids.
oh yeah. Just like that school right there on Chicago Avenue in State too. You got a heavy police presence out there.
Oh yeah.
When they're starting school
Yeah.
and when they're finishing school.
Yeah, right there across
Right.
from that church.
Because back in the day, they used to be an all-girls Catholic school. That was because you reached off, everybody was a freak. You went down there and get one. Everyone knew to go to the Catholic school. What was the name of that school? Now, I can't remember the name of it back in the day, but it used to be an all-girls Catholic school. That school right there on that corner next to that church.
Yeah. It's right over there by the McDonald's and the
I know she's talking about. That's from my
Where is?
Chicago Avenue.
There's a school right there, and it's a great school. It used to be, going back to the 80s, when you go back to the 80s, that was an all-girl Catholic school.
You catch the red line, get off from Chicago Avenue, it's right outside.
It's literally right at the top of the, yeah. Alright, so Jake can't afford $41,000 a year for grade school. Jake be trying to, going broke, trying to go to send one kid through college, man. It'd be a big deal because in Jake, you always got that first member in the family that's a college graduate. That's a big deal with Jake.
And they used to go to schools that cost $8,000 to $10,000 a year, and that's a shitty ass college.
Yeah, and they still suffer. Matter of fact, I heard my client complaining the other day, like, damn, like the way things are going, my daughter's gonna have to go to a city college.
Right.
Almost
USC.
I was like, damn.
University of Southern California is $40,000. Well, it was.
Cause he went to Boston. He was out there, man. He went to all them, he was there. I think he was at Boston, and he was also in the Arizona State. He's like, man, my daughter will never see that.
Too much. It costs too much.
That's what Jake do. Jake go to community college with Malcolm X, Kennedy College, and then they transfer their credits to the college.
And that's only.
And they go there for 1 year or so,
Right.
just to try to,
But they got to do that to prove that they got good grades so they can get qualified to go to the better school. I had to do the shit because I was like, they said, well, go to community college so you'll know. And I went there, got all A's, and then said, okay, you come. Then I went to a regular university, Central Michigan University, which was around maybe $12,000, $13,000, $14,000 a year, something like that. And then ended up transferring over to USC, and which is like $40,000, $50,000 for a university. You talking about grammar school?
yeah,
You talking about grammar school costs $40,000?
there you go.
Y'all don't know, because then you can talk about they're being prepped to go to Ivy League, going 90, 80, 90,000,
So by the time,
$100,000.
so if you got 2, 3 kids, man, they
That's
haven't even made it to college.
$120,000.
And the majority of the people that attend there
You
are
wish
small hatters.
you
That's
wish-
the point.
you wish this.
Did you give me that information on the 1980 Jewish almanac?
This is the Encyclopedia Judaica.
Bakisha.
Wikipedia says
Call it again, brother.
the Encyclopedia Judaica. It says the Encyclopedia Judaica is a 22-volume English language encyclopedia.
22 volumes. Okay, all right. So how many scholars?
If I go down real quick, it says in general, editors were successively Cecil Roth and Jeffrey Wigader.
Roth?
Okay.
It said, advertisers described it as the result of about 3 decades of study and research by about 2,200 contributors and 250 editors
Can't make this up.
around the world. Contributors include Gershom scholars.
So now all of a sudden, all those scholars were wrong.
Right.
Now, let's read some of that. Come on, man.
2,000?
So let me read the two that we researched. Let me grab them again. All right, let me grab them again, cause hey,
That's
this-
over 2,500 scholars, man. Between both.
3 decades.
Yes, right. Going over 3 decades.
And that
man,
was,
they cut the fuck up, man.
Yeah.
And I hope that you people out there that are watching are
They
screenshotting
don't
it.
care.
And no, just for their own records. No, they gonna care.
They sure
Because they
will.
hurt. This is very damaging to them. And this is yeah, and to hear what from the source he just quoted, Edomite Jews began to call themselves Hebrews, and Edomite Jews began to call themselves Hebrews and Israelites in 1860. Encyclopedia Judaica, 1971, volume 10, page 23. So the Lord put the Spirit on them. That's Psalm 60, 64 and 8. Because you know they were so arrogant in their own stupor, they screwed themselves up. Once again, this one you said it was 400 scholars and it was 12 volumes.
yeah.
This is the Esau Edom is Modern Jewry, 1925, English Encyclopedia, volume 5, page 41. They are not of Israel or Judah. All right. So
And it says Edom is modern jewelry in that one as well.
Khan,
And that-
Edom is Modern Jewry. And we got one more. Then the Jewish Almanac 1980. We didn't look that one up. We did the encyclopedia. Matter of fact, go ahead and look up the Jewish Almanac 1980. Page.
Yeah,
All right.
So right now
because it says strictly speaking, it is incorrect to call an ancient Israelite a Jew,
that's right.
or we calling ourselves Hebrew Israelites. All right.
12 tribes.
Or to call a contemporary Jew an Israelite or a Hebrew. Hey man, they look. The networks don't want no parts of us.
That's what
They-
they do with Dosha.
They don't know. They don't want no parts of us because these points are not going to be brought up by Ronald McDalton. They're not going to be brought up by this fake Elijah that's running around in all purple and gold. All right. It's not going to be brought up by the demolition wrestling camp called ISUPK with all their spikes on, looking like Axe and Smash. All right. It's not going to be them.
And another thing, they always talk about West Africa, but they never talk about the customs and culture of those certain tribes, like the Igbo. The Igbo does everything in the Bible, man. They custom and culture. They always say West Africa, but they never talk about particular tribes that do Hebrew customs because they are Israelites.
Con. So this information is golden. All right. Did you find anything, brother?
Not yet.
Okay.
I got one precept for you.
Go ahead. Bring it out, brother.
This is Micah 2:1. One sin that divides iniquity and works
Yes, sir.
evil upon their beards. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. So the first thing about this wickedness that's done, you have to have the power.
That's it.
You have to be in the power seat to make these things happen. All right?
These people really, truly are the villain victims.
Yes, sir.
They the villain playing the victim the whole time.
With the knife in their hand at your back and at your throat.
Yep. And they cover fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away, so they oppress a man his house, even a man his heritage. So you go, Esau Edom, he's never satisfied.
That's it.
Not only did he take our land, he's taking on our whole heritage, man. He's calling himself the Israelites. They say he took over South Africa. He called himself the South African.
I said, what's the name of it? Not Zuckerberg, the other one. Musk.
Yeah,
Elon
he
Musk.
called himself a South
Yeah,
African.
he
No, nigga,
identifies
fucking
as
cracker, nigga. That's what it is.
Another elephant turd they messed up. Before they go into homeland Israel, they try to make Uganda Israel. If you
Yeah.
chosen people, why you gonna make another? If you were chosen people, why you gonna go to
Yeah.
Hamland and try to make they part of your land?
They were gonna go to Uganda. It's true.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Because they know that the Israelites scattered and then all those kingdoms that were along the Niger River, all right, with Mali and Uganda, all going all the way up to the coast.
West.
They know that those were all Israelite. That was Negro land.
That's right.
The 1700 maps show you that you had
Matthew
Africa, and then right in the middle of Africa, at the top, where the west coast of Africa was, you had that whole area called Negro land. Right, and there's a difference between. That's why the Zondervan Dictionary definition, the Young's Dictionary definition, somebody want to pull it up, read the way that they did, because you had these so-called Negroes that they were being called, who were actual Israelites, and they were a different dark race of people than the Africans that they were living among that were round about them. All right, they were separated from
And
them.
some of those thousands and thousands of scholars trying to do some thousands of scholarly work
Did you
went
see
and
the
told
link
the
for the
truth.
other encyclopedia?
And
The second one.
Into the both.
and this is
Put
the book
in,
ahead.
bro.
This is
I just
Zondervan's.
screenshotted it. You got to go into that.
This is Zondervan's Bible Dictionary, and this is the definition of the word. Ham. It was just ham, right?
Yeah.
I know about her.
You know about her? Go ahead, little brother.
It says Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes.
Not what?
Not the Negroes.
Excuse me?
Not the Negroes.
Who are dark races? Go ahead.
But the Egyptians,
Uh-huh.
Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites.
Now, almost, because he didn't say Genesis. He did say his independence when his father didn't break the whole. But that's the point. All right, their scholars will tell you in another publication. And these big publications, these Zondervans. Matter of fact, you go into the Apocryphas. They're published by Oxford and Cambridge and all these super duper. They're not McDonald printing press that's on the south side of some little swinky thing. This is international. One of the reasons these publishers are multinational, international. We're talking about printing millions of copies of books. That's why they cost the ink. Matter of fact, I had to go get ink because I had to get ink to,
Right.
for you, right? I went there, just one cartridge of not the extra, that's the XL. $45, but $25, $30 for one cartridge that's only gonna last you maybe 100 pages. They do that intentionally when ink is cheap as fuck. Ink is one of the most cheapest elements you can fucking make. But they put a high-ass price so they can control the narrative. If you can just print 1 million copies real easy, real cheap, you can influence a lot of people. They say, well, you know what, make ink triple the cost of ink so that if you want to print a whole bunch of shit, either can come through us, which we're going to have to either approve it or not approve it, or you have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on ink to and paper to produce your own publication.
Sneaky bastards.
Bastards. They control. That's why they control the narrative for so long. But now it's backfired because the scriptures, like the Book of Psalms, said, truth shall spring up out of the earth. Every time the brother Shante go over to Europe, he brings about more evidence of pictures, sculptures, and artifacts proving who we are. See, you have claimed to be the people, but everything that the scriptures that would and relics that would define who the real people are, you don't match. If the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. So nigga, guess what? The glove don't fit you, so you're acquitted for being so-called Jewish because it doesn't match, nigga.
Yeah, I got some of this book called Hebrewism West Africa. Joseph J. Williams was printed in 1930. At page 63.
What's it called again?
Hebrewisms of West Africa by Joseph J. Williams. This is in 1930. We go page 63. Talking about the cut. It said not only talking about the Ashanti tribe, not only in American one itself, but also African American culture, there's a strange similarity between Ashanti and Hebrews. Thus, for example, for 8 days after birth, a child Ashanti was considered unclean. It is only on the 8th day at the Netita rite, as Ashanti called, the child received his personal name. On the 40th day, still further someone has to be observed, and all we observe manner of Hebrew customs. For what talking about the menstrual seclusion, furthermore, restrictions and taboos of Ashanti woman at menstrual period, even to retirement or borrow her, read the read like a page raw from the book of Leviticus. And the system of Ashante evolution prevent legal uncleanness constantly brings to mass similar practice which were common among the Hebrews. Alright, and Ashante live in the state of Ghana, man. And the two main countries that Jake came over for North America is Nigeria and Ghana, man.
There are a huge amount of slaves that came from those areas, especially Nigeria. They did a whole lot. That's beautiful. I actually want to see if I can check out some shit.
Yeah, I'll let you keep it to this.
No, put it in the camera, brother. So they
Matter of fact, this one right here. That's that. See, these receipts are coming to bite you in your ass, man. All right, these receipts. I said, you'll be a kind of cameraman over there. All right, but that's what it is. These receipts are coming to get you. All right. The Lord says that He's going to make bare. He's going to make bare Esau eat them, man. So matter of fact,
grab that. We'll give it a grab that one.
Put the name on.
I put it in for you.
Oh, the name.
The name?
The name.
I didn't put a name. I just showed it to him.
Well, there was a crypto market crash today.
It was one not too long ago too for
Again. So I mean, yeah, this is.
Everything this is the
Yeah.
CBDC. That's the CBDC. That's what it's leading to.
Oh yeah, what just happened? The banks in New York got their pilot program going for digital currency. I think it's over the next 12 weeks. They got the pilot going. You know what come after the pilot? They're not the real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Yeah, and that's just beautiful, man. This is what we've been waiting for, and this is why the war with Amalek is really heating up. We've been going back and toe to toe. All wars is not a hot war, and where you have troops on the ground, fisticuffs, bullets, and guns. War is also a war of words, war of ideology, war of attrition, war of goods, war of there's multiple ways to war. Right now is the spiritual war between Amalek and knowledge and wisdom and information exposing their lies. Oh, the intel game is sick. The Most High this is amazing, man. There's more books and more movies and more shows and more this and that showing the debauchery and the lies that Esau eat them every day.
And something as weak as Hebrews Negroes is breaking you down. All right. That goes to show you that that they've really filtered. It just goes to show you the Lord only wants the elect to get there.
That's it.
But that goes to show you how long we've been doing this, how long the apostles have been doing this. All right, and still how little some people still, well, a lot of Jake knew but was ignoring it. But now they're not ignoring it anymore.
Well, now,
because a couple rich guys spoke something about it.
It's the latest fad to it.
All right. And that's what Esau's trying to push it off. It's just another black thing. No, this is a Hebrew Israelite thing.
And it goes to
And
show
that's
it goes to show as well
send that to me.
how weak their lies are.
That's-
how easily dismantled they are.
I'm gonna use that.
Even Real Nas X being gay. But then the world is against Kyrie for saying
Right.
Israelite.
Right, and see, that just shows you the hypocrisy, man. And first of all, if so-called free speech is really true, niggas can say whatever the fuck they want to say about
Lil Nas
anybody.
X gave a lap dance to the devil. All motherfuckers is okay with that.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes,
Right.
yes.
And niggas start us for claiming to be Israelites. You fucking
Oh,
sick,
wait a minute,
man.
yeah, you're right about that, man, because they supposed to be the people book. They supposed to condemn Nas X for getting a lap dance.
You're supposed to condemn a lot of things.
A lot of things.
Matter of fact, you would think that if this was a
Christian,
Christian society and a Christian nation,
right.
that video, that guy wouldn't even been allowed to exist. Right, but go ahead and read that Jeremiah, and then I'm gonna read this last one. That's Hosea 1 and 10, because eventually they're gonna come saying that we, surely our fathers have
Inherited lies.
They're gonna with the end is already written. Is already written. So you can't, and they know, they know that we're telling the truth. But you got to think about it. They built an empire and have become the most wealthiest people the world has ever seen, all based upon lies. So, what you think that they're not going to try to protect those lies? but the Lord is going to act, and it's going to be so great and terrible that they're going to be forced to admit that it's the truth. And then not only that, you know, it's like pertaining to Second Ezra 1673, the events that are about to take place is going to prove who the Lord's chosen. Then it shall be known who is his chosen. But go ahead, brother.
This is Jeremiah 49:10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is not. That's the end game of Esau, Edom, is that he is not. And first of all, Mosiah is going to expose you, which we're in that process right now. And from that process, the Mosiah is going to tear you down, because you're going to come try to fight against the Lord, come try to rise up against his people, and the Mosiah is going to raise up a standard against you, and you're going to be destroyed.
That's
and
right.
then once you get destroyed, you're going to be subjugated and put into captivity. He said, given to them double for all the shit that you've done upon us and upon the earth. So that's going to come down upon you doubly. And at the end all be all, you're going to be destroyed, and you will never be able to, it will never be a race of Esau, Edomites, redneck, reddish to palish skin, blonde, yellow thin hair, with all your wickedness and your debauchery and your hatred for everything that is righteous.
Yeah, you know what? Jacob the Jew is gonna get some new chains.
That's right.
There you go.
He gonna get some bling for real around his ankle and his neck. Right, but this is Hosea 1:10, and it reads, "Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea." And they just, you know, and they always say how they're so small of people. All right,
Right.
But the nation of Israel is gonna be immeasurable. You look at the Negroes and the Latinos and try to count them all, they're uncountable.
That's
And you, especially once you include the scattered that are among all the other people. All right? But it says, "Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea." All right? Which cannot be measured nor numbered. So our doctrine matches up with the scriptures. All right? And number Satan. And it says, "And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power."
Did that ever happen where people were saying and coming against you wishes that they were not? They just came on the scene and just set up. They got a Balfour Declaration.
There it is.
And got special treatment around the world. So with that, man, we're gonna give all praises, all honor and glory unto
YAHAWAH, BaHa, YAHAWASHI, BaHa, QADASH.
Wa ba ba ba.
Ababa Ball.